This is WTWO News at 11.
A lot of questions have gone unanswered after a boy was found dead inside of a suitcase. We'll let you know why missing person databases may not help investigators solve this case. That's straight ahead. And patients are finding some pharmacies are running out of certain opioids. We'll tell you why in just a few minutes. Plus, a push for marijuana legalization in Indiana. The reason some Hoosier lawmakers say it's something that should be done. Thanks for watching our late news. Indiana State Police asking for help identifying a young boy found dead inside a suitcase in southern Indiana. Jesse Wells has the latest on the investigation that is getting national attention.
Indiana State Police released this picture of a distinctive Las Vegas-style suitcase in the hopes of generating more information about the victim. The boy found inside the suitcase is described as being about 5 years old, about 4 feet tall, with a slim build and short hair. Unfortunately, investigators are not sure if that victim is even from Indiana or not. Walking through the woods about 80 feet off the road in Washington County, state police claim a mushroom hunter found a boy's body Saturday night and called 911. Several days later, the victim's name remains a mystery.
Our main goal right now is to identify this young man, give him a voice.
State police say the boy's body was found inside this closed hard-shell suitcase. Investigators believe the victim died sometime in the last week, although an autopsy did not provide a definitive cause of death.
I just don't think you pick that at random. Why there?
Former FBI agent Doug Coons, who is not connected to the case, says because the body was found in such a remote wooded area, investigators will likely try to figure out why that location would have been used to dispose of the body.
It's a very rural area. It looks like it's at the end of a dead-end street. Purely speculation on my part, but I would have to think it's somebody that's familiar with the area.
So far, state police have received around 500 calls and have searched databases nationwide, like the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. But investigators now think the victim inside the suitcase may be someone who has not been reported missing.
If it's somebody who's already listed on the National Child's Missing list, probably not the direction we're going to go, because those things have been looked at already.
You're kind of feeling around in the dark on something like this at first. Yeah, it's just a tough one. I wish them the best of luck.
Anyone with information about the child is asked to contact Indiana State Police, and they have set up a dedicated national hotline at the number that you see right there. Terre Haute police say 2 women accused of pulling a knife on a local retail employee and then fleeing the scene have been identified. The incident reportedly happened at the CVS on Fort Harrison Road. Police say Desera Black, seen here from a prior booking in 2019, has been taken into custody. She faces charges of robbery while armed with a deadly weapon, intimidation, and conversion. Police are still investigating what the second woman's involvement in the incident was, if anything. Right now, pharmacies are running out of prescription opioids. It's the latest product being impacted by supply chain issues. Mike Sullivan shows us how patients are navigating the problem.
Make no mistake when it comes to opioids.
As a profession, we are being more responsible.
Doctors say they're becoming more aware of the risks as the restrictions for prescribing opioids becomes more stringent.
In the good old days, you could even call in prescriptions. That was way back.
Dr. Vinay Balamkar used to write an opioid script on any paper.
Then it went to a special paper script. Then you had to use an indelible ink. Then they turned the paper script into like a check type.
Now he says opioid prescriptions must be sent electronically.
Unfortunately, now that it's electronic format, they cannot hand carry to a different pharmacy.
Herein lies his issue. More and more, he finds patients are struggling to get their prescriptions filled.
Sometimes they just don't have the supplies in the last month.
He believes supply chain issues are forcing patients to pharmacy hop blindly.
They can't call the pharmacy and say, do you have it?
Dr. Balamkar saying certain companies have rules forbidding pharmacies from divulging that information in case they're potential burglars.
They don't know who's calling on the phone.
We reached out to CBS. They are working to give us their current policies. However, in 2015, they began keeping certain opioids in time-delayed safes, starting right here in Indy.
There should be a process where I hope the vacuum is not filled by illicit drugs and uncontrolled what we call street pharmacists.
Those patients struggling to find medication may also start hoarding.
Go to the pharmacy and this happens to you a couple times, common sense says, I better save some.
Avoiding the withdrawal symptoms while putting their families in danger.
Well, some good news for taxpayers in the state of Illinois. The state's spending plan has a surplus for the second straight year. Governor Pritzker signed the budget today, and it includes some tax relief for families feeling the pinch of inflation. Those who filed taxes independently in 2021 and made less than $200,000 can expect to receive at least $50 back. Joint filers who brought home less than $400,000 will get a $100 check. The state will also spend $100 per independent, with a maximum of 3 independents. Indiana Democrats are renewing their push for marijuana legalization. As our State House reporter Kristen Eskow reports, the Democratic U.S. Senate candidate has made it a priority in his campaign.
Several bills were introduced at the State House regarding marijuana legalization this past session, but none of them got hearings in committee. Still, Democrats are continuing their push to try to get marijuana legalized here. Veterans are teaming up with Indiana Democrats to push lawmakers to give the green light for cannabis use.
I'm here just speaking for myself and the other veterans that have PTSD that would like to choose a different path.
The group is kicking off a statewide tour, pointing to a 2018 Hoosier survey poll showing 80% of Hoosiers support some form of marijuana legalization. Among the advocates, Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott, who's calling for cannabis to be legalized at the federal level.
The legalization of cannabis is important to this campaign.
McDermott, a Democrat running against Senator Todd Young, is the second U.S. Senate candidate to release an ad online this year in which he smokes marijuana. He says the ad was filmed in Illinois, which allows recreational use.
What's happening is a lot of our Hoosiers that are caught with this plant are getting arrested, getting thrown in jail, getting criminal records, and that's unacceptable.
Senator Young's campaign declined to comment for this story, but in 2014, Young said he believes medical marijuana should be a decision left to the states. So far, 37 states have legalized marijuana for at least medical use. Indiana isn't one of them.
We have to put pressure on the supermajority in the State House because they're the ones that aren't doing it.
Governor Eric Holcomb says he won't support state legislation until marijuana is legalized at the federal level.
There's a lot of other states that obviously have ignored that. I'm just not one of those people that will ignore that law.
From the Indiana State House, I'm Kristen Eskow.
We also reached out to Republican legislative leaders to get their thoughts on this latest push for marijuana legalization. They did not return our request for comment. The Fort Harrison Daughters of the American Revolution chapter honored Vietnam veterans. It happened this morning at the VFW Post 972. The celebration was made possible thanks to a grant from Eli Lilly. Veterans received special commemoration gifts. It included a special note and presentation from State DAR Chairperson Bonnie Wooten. The Vigo County Historical Museum is giving families the chance to learn more about their family history. It will be hosting a series of family research classes. These classes will have different speakers and workshops teaching people how to research and record their family history. These classes will run from April through November. The cost of these classes is included in the cost of admission. The first class will be on April 30th at 10:30 a.m. We are continuing our spring sit-down series with local college presidents, and this evening we're visiting St. Mary of the Woods College. President Dottie King said there are several fundraising efforts going on the campus, and those include restoring old infrastructure and building some new attractions. King said the school is hoping to receive some READY grant funding so it can upgrade the equestrian facilities. She says that would make Vigo County a destination for people interested in equestrian events. During the sit-down, King shared several other projects underway at St. Mary of the Woods. Well, the state of Indiana has $700 million in unclaimed cash and property, and some of it could be yours. The Indiana Attorney General's office oversees the money and items. Items are sold after about 3 years, and then the money is kept for 25 years. Also, after 25 years, any unclaimed money goes to the state treasury. You can see some of the items that the Indiana Attorney General's office is holding, and we'll tell you how to find out if you have any unclaimed money. Join us tomorrow night at 6 right here on WTWL. Well, tonight, area residents learned about a new park project in Vigo County. Coming up, we'll tell you about some of the ideas that were brought to the table. Then later in sports, the West Vigo Vikings look to continue their winning ways on the diamond as they welcome Owen Valley. Grant drops by with the highlights.